In this video, I'm sharing with you 5 skills for communication jobs today. So if you want to have a career in communication, or if you already you're planning to start a career in communication, this video is for you. Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm sharing with you 5 skills for communication jobs today. So if you want to have a career in communication, or if you already you're planning to start a career in communication, this video is for you. So communication is actually a very interesting field to start a career, because every organization wants to communicate with the audience, right? So at every point in time, a communication manager or a communication role is a very key role in any organization. Whatever industry it is, whatever sector it is, communication is a critical role that needs to be occupied. So have no doubt you're in the right industry, or you're in the right space to start a career. So the first skill I would like to let you know, if you want to have a career in communication, is to have great writing skill. Have a great writing skill, and this is because, well, I would like to state that these 5 skill sets I'm going to mention in this video, they are actually, I'm laying more emphasis on public relations, okay? So permit me, because that's the space that I'm in. So the first skill set I would say is writing, right? You need to have good writing skills, because writing is more like what you do day to day to a large extent. So you need to be able to understand how to write for different audiences, because different organizations have different target audiences. So for some, their target audience could be teenagers, for some their target audience could be C-suite executives. Whatever it is, you just need to be able to write compelling pieces, right, for the targets, right, or compelling pieces that represent what the company is trying to portray or to project in the media. So you also need to be able to understand how to write casual writing and serious writing, because the way you write a social media content is way different from the way you're going to write an op-ed or a company newsletter. So you need to have a very compelling writing skill. And I need to say that writing is very subjective. So because someone does not like your writing does not necessarily mean that you're not a good writer, okay? So be open to taking feedbacks, be open to take feedbacks, be open to learn. So when someone says, oh, you didn't write this thing well, or you didn't write that well, don't see yourself like, there's actually no great writer. Every writer is actually still learning to write by the day. So make sure that you're open to take corrections when you write. But yeah, that's the first skill. The second skill I would say is media relations, right? You need to be able to have good media relations, and by this I mean relationship with the media and pitching in the right way to the media. So some people don't even know that these journalists, sorry, I'm kind of sweating. Some people don't know that these journalists are human beings, right? And they receive lots of emails every day. So if you don't pitch the right way, your story will never get published, okay? And again, that goes back to my first point of being a good writer, because when you're able to write compelling articles or compelling stories or whatever it is, you have journalists publish your stories, okay? Now, but the second skill I'm actually literally talking about right now is having relationship with the media. And by doing this, personally, I use Twitter a lot, and that's because I don't focus on just Nigerian journalists, right? And don't forget, digital has come to stay, right? So you can actually use Twitter to reach out to a reporter, and that reporter will respond to you, okay? So I mean, when I say relationship with the media, make sure you understand what the reporter or the journalist, make sure you understand their niche. What niche is this guy, or what bit is he covering, right? Is he covering for the financial sector, or is this one covering for entertainment? Understand. Don't go and pitch to a financial story to another reporter who is in the entertainment bits. Like, they're not going to have your story published. So make sure you have good relationship in having to pitch to the media the kind of mails you need to write, how you need to write the emails, everything. Actually, that's a good skill set, because if you don't have that, you hardly have your story published in the media. Now, the third point I would like to say, or the third skill I would like to say, is learn how to use other channels to communicate with your target audience. Because right now there are so many options, right? Don't like focus on just one because you feel like that's what's going to work for you. Have you tried others? If you've tried others and they're not working, then you can focus on the one that is working. But right now there are lots of channels, so you need to be able to understand these channels and understand how you're going to get to reach your target audience through these channels. So from blogs to e-newsletters to different platforms to social media, you just need to be able to understand these channels. You need to understand email marketing if you're going to be using newsletters, right? For blogs, you need to be able to understand like how to pitch to these platforms, basically, right? If you don't want to pay to them, then you also need to be able to know that you're literally like trying different channels. So the way you're going to communicate in channel A is not the same way you're going to communicate in channel B. Okay, so that's very key to note. Then my fourth skill I would say you should have, or the fourth skill I would say you should have, is strategic thinking and problem solving. So when I say strategic thinking, like, you need to be able to think on your feet, think on the go, because communication is also about solving problems. Communication professionals are problem solvers. They are solution oriented. So you want to be able to understand your client's industry, follow trends, make your study and see what ways you can use communication to drive the goal of your company or the goal of the company that you work for. So I have it written here that communication professionals always identify big picture solutions, right, to issues that their clients face or to issues that their companies face, right? And then you come up with an approach that uses communication to address these problems, right? For example, if an organization is in a crisis, right, obviously communication definitely has a role to play. So you see what I'm talking about. So communication should not be joked with in an organization. So you need to understand that strategic thinking and problem solving is a skill set. Can you take initiatives? Can you take risks also? Can you be open to trying new approaches, right, as a communication professional? Because that's the one way that you can grow. And by strategic thinking, don't get me wrong, it's not something so big. It's just a matter of where are we now and where do we want to get to. So that process of this is where we are now and where we want to get to, the middle, that process of getting there, is the strategy that will take you to where you want to get to. So basically, it's not like one big statement I just said now and you have to be scared. Then the last, number 5 actually, the last one I would say is basically to have good research skills, right? Research is a very, very, very strong skill set. That's a strong skill to have. And a lot of people think that it's only for data analysts or tech guys or people in tech, but that's not true. Because if you cannot research, there are certain information that you're going to miss out. And because as a communication professional, you're working with information, don't forget that like you need to like use data, right, or data, whatever people call it. I like to say data, but don't forget that you can use data or data to create a story. Now if you're not able to research, right, and when I say research, I don't mean like big things though, I just mean like having to research on reports, what reports are being released in your industry, or what data that you think you can write a story that can give you a story angle to write from. Like for example, like if Nigeria processed this amount of transactions on POS devices, right? can you create a story angle from that, right? If for example you have a client in the industry, that's what I'm trying to say. So you can just like check check Google is very, very useful, very useful. Google is very useful. So you can just check Google with one keyword. You can actually find lots of research, lots of results, right? And then you're able to make your research or whatever you're writing on. As another thing to note, why I said research is also a very key skill, is because as a communication professional, you do a lot of monitoring, right? Specifically for PR, you do a lot of media monitoring, competitor analysis. If you are not able to research, you find it very hard to do those tasks easily. That's what I'm trying to say. So these are the 5 major skills. Like, there are other skill sets, don't get me wrong, but these are the 5 that I think if you like have these 5 skills, you're good to go. You're good to start a career in communications. And if you don't have any of these skill sets, don't kill yourself. Like, you can just go on YouTube, watch videos, take some courses online, get practical with some of these things, write as much as you want to write. Like, write so much that make it a habit to write every day, kind of, to improve your writing, and a couple of all these things. So that's the end of this video. Actually, those are the 5 skill sets I think you would need to start a career or to grow in your communication career or start a career in communication. So if you'd like to see more videos like this, that will help you understand the communication sector, understand how to grow your career in communications and everything communications, please do well to subscribe to this channel, because I have more videos coming up for you guys. So thank you for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.